Advanced Readers Copies. I've been reviewing these babies since 2022, and this was my first Advanced Readers Copy review on Instagram. Cute, right? I was part of an Instagram tour for the book Wayward by Hannah Matthewson that Titan Books put together. Not only was I excited, but I was absolutely thrilled to have my first ever Advanced Readers Copy in my hands. It was a pretty cool experience, and since then I've reviewed many different Advanced Readers Copies from different publishers. I've experienced the highs and lows of acceptance and rejection, what it feels like to have a book turn up unannounced, and the struggle of understanding how to request ARCs in the first place. The world of Advanced Readers Copies is a complicated one, and in this video I'm going to be exploring my thoughts, my experiences, and whether I'm going to keep reviewing these things or not. First, for the uninitiated, if you don't know what an ARC or an Advanced Readers Copy is, let me explain. An Advanced Readers Copy of a book is essentially a book you receive before the release date in exchange for an honest review. This book is free, you don't pay for it, but the general idea is that you review it ahead of release and ideally post about it on social media too. These ARCs are usually not the finished copy of a book. They'll sometimes have different covers, be different sizes, and they'll always have some kind of text on the front, back, or inside the book to indicate they're an Advanced Readers Copy. They will also have a statement within the book that says it's not the final published book, so small changes may be made before printing. Things like fixing typos, small passages, and printing errors. As the recipient of this book, you cannot resell it. The general purpose of these Advanced Readers Copies is to generate some hype or extra reviews before the release of the book. They're usually sent to reviewers who will ideally like or love the book, so that the reviews will generally be positive, but also honest. Advanced Readers Copies don't just have to be physical books though. You can get e-ARCs on platforms like NetGalley, where you can review a digital version of the book in much the same way. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to include books that, while aren't technically ARCs, because they're actually finished versions of the book, are given to reviewers early regardless to review them before the release date. I've had a few of these myself. Sounds pretty cool, right? Who doesn't want free books? Especially when all you need to do is post a review and maybe even post on social media. Well, you would be right. The concept of Advanced Readers Copies is really cool for readers and reviewers. Getting a book before everyone else is exciting. It makes you feel special. And having an exclusive copy of the book that not many other people have feels pretty dang cool. During my time of reading and reviewing Advanced Readers Copies of books, it did feel that way at first. But honestly, it started to not feel like that anymore. But hang on, let's backtrack a bit and go right back to when I first started reviewing ARCs. My Advanced Readers Copy journey started with the wonderful publishing house Titan Books. At the time, I noticed some friends and people I followed on Instagram were getting ARCs from them, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I traipsed through their website, found a contact form, and got in touch to ask for a reviewer's copy of the book Hooked by A.C. Wise. I didn't hear back from them about this book, but a few days later I received an email about another book, Wayward, and an invite to participate in the Instagram tour for it. Down the line, they sent me Hooked regardless, even without an email confirming it, and thus started my journey into reviewing ARCs. And after that positive experience, you could say I was hooked. After reviewing ARCs from one publisher, I then contacted Head of Zeus, HarperCollins, Angry Robot, Bloomsbury, Orbit, Transworld, and more. You name a publisher in the UK, I've likely tried contacting them. The experience was a huge mixed bag. For some emails I'd get replies, other times none at all. Sometimes books would show up without any confirmation whatsoever, and sometimes other books would turn up that I didn't request at all. Each publisher or marketing company that deals with ARCs have their own way of doing things. Some want you to contact them via email, others have online forms to fill out, and some have nothing at all, unless you count a secret backdoor entry that some know about and others don't. It's a strange and sometimes stressful world, especially when you'd love to review a specific book that's absolutely perfect for you and your online audience, but it's proving very difficult to get a hold of. Speaking from experience, I was persistent with this one. When I first started requesting ARCs, email was pretty much the only and best option in terms of contacting publishers. After 2 years, things have started to change. Publishers or their marketing companies are getting better at providing an easier way for reviewers to request ARCs through online forms and email signups. In general, it's much better, clearer, and to be honest, less stressful. Now I rarely request ARCs from publishers, but I do get sent the odd one, especially if it's relevant to things that I like to read, like mythology or ancient history, or maybe the odd fantasy. So with my ARC journey laid out, let me share some of my feelings and thoughts on the whole experience. As I've said, requesting and reviewing advanced readers' copies can be an exciting yet stressful experience, and I would say at the start of my journey it was more on the exciting side, and as we've gone on, it's gone to the more stressful side. I'd put this down to 2 reasons. 1. Publishers give you rough timeframes to read their books, and if you don't get them read in a timely manner, they'll quietly deprioritize you for future books. And 2. There are so many people requesting ARCs now that the competition for these books is high. I'll address point 1 first. For the concept of an advanced reader's copy to work, the reviewer has to review the book before it is released. That's the whole point. So if you've requested an advanced reader's copy of a book and you don't review it before the release, it's understandable that your reliability may go down in the eyes of the publisher. I don't begrudge them that. So as an ARC reader and reviewer, we have to make sure that we have the time to actually read and review the books that we're requesting, but also that we don't request too many. This can be very hard if you're getting sent books that you didn't actually request, or you're unsure if the books you've requested you're actually going to get or not. It also becomes difficult when you want to read the books you've actually bought for yourself, but you don't have time because you're reading and reviewing ARCs most of the time. It's this second point that I personally struggle with. While reviewing ARCs, I couldn't actually read the books I bought personally. Instead, I was rushing to keep up with the books I'd requested or were sent to me, in order to not disappoint or go down in the estimation of the publishers. When you're juggling multiple different publishers and all of their releases that they're sending out to you, and you have a full-time job, this becomes quite the struggle. Next, competition. On both Instagram and TikTok, the book world is constantly growing. There are countless people reading and posting their book reviews, which means publishers have a lot of people that they can pick from, especially when they make it even easier now to request the ARCs in the first place. This means the bar is raising in terms of the number of followers you might need to be accepted and to get an ARC yourself. Or it might mean that you need to be way more consistent on social media for them to even notice you. Now publishers aren't just looking for a review on things like the Storygraph or Goodreads, they're actually looking for hype on social media too. If you don't meet these criteria or keep up with their review schedule, they're more likely to quietly or not so quietly drop you. Not to mention the quality of review posts these days is super high. Reviewers do impressive flat lays, gorgeous photographs, custom graphics, giveaways, and sometimes videos, all in exchange for a free book. Let it be known that publishers pay nothing for all of this free marketing. Not that I'm saying that they should pay for it. I'm just saying. I do think it is worth it for any book reviewer to give ARC reviewing a go. If you like the pace of it, then it is worth it. Getting a book that nobody else has is pretty fantastic. For me, that feeling has waned a little bit. The pure joy feels a little bit less so when ARC reviewing is more like a chore or a job than just fun. I feel like this is a cycle, a feeling a lot of people go through as an ARC reviewer. It starts with a great feeling, but over time that lessens and you either keep going or you slowly stop. I, for one, still get that really good feeling when a pre-order book arrives. I can still join in the hype for the release on release day, and that's good enough for me. If a publisher sends me an ARC unprompted, of course I'm excited and I'm going to read it and review it. But for me, I'm not going to keep seeking out these books and requesting advanced readers' copies from publishers, for now anyway. But you tell me, have you had a chance to review and read any advanced readers' copies? How do you feel about them? Or are you looking to get started reviewing advanced readers' copies? And if so, leave me any questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.